shoot. Let's see if I have to restart this. Is today Tuesday? Tuesday. Wait a second here. I'm trying to figure out what to do with my nails. They're done. I just need to put a design on them. I gotta plug my laptop in. Hello. Hey, Humpty Dumpty. Long time no see. How you doing? Hey, dolls. Hey, Christy. Where's my plug? How is everybody today? This lovely Tuesday. Damn it. All right. I might have to restart my computer, which means I'm going to have to temporarily switch over to my phone. I'm bored. How's everybody doing? Let me, oh shit, my phone's about to die too. That's great. I'm going to have to, I've totally forgot that I have to restart my computer because it's going to keep muting me for whatever reason. So I'm going to go on my phone real quick and then we'll switch back over. Let me turn off my Bluetooth. Turn on my Wi-Fi real quick. Hey, Ems. Hey, Mercedes girl. I'm great. I just lurked, but I'm always here. Oh, all right. I haven't seen you around in a while. All right, hold on one second. Let me just remove myself here. And I just have to restart this. So let me do that because I'm going to keep getting this error message telling me that my microphone's been unplugged. I don't know why. You're repotting your indoor plants. I need to do that, Humpty Dumpty. I have my mom's aloe plant that I've managed to somehow keep alive. And I could tell it needs to be repotted, but I've just been lazy. I tried repotting one of my orchids and I killed it. So I won't be repotting those anytime soon. But I got shit ton of indoor plants. I got too many right now. It's looking like a jungle in my house. How is everybody today? I was just watching the Johnny Depp trial, and I'm just like, holy shit, is he a slow talker, huh? I have 420 indoor plants. Whoa, that's a lot. That is a lot. Didn't MGL and Depp used to be in a relationship? Hell no, Ben. You think she could get a movie star? So I was watching this channel, Ictamel, I think that's his name. And I'm like, I can't get away from this fucking bitch. I was watching his channel because he does a little bit of commentary, which is nice he's not just streaming the trial. I mean, he's pretty quiet, but he does a little bit of commentary. So I'm watching him and he's like, oh, Molly. I'm like, oh my God, dude. I cannot fucking get away from this woman. Like, fucking hell, dude. Somebody had sent me a picture, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, of her. And they were like, oh, doesn't this look like her at this trial? And I'm like, oh my God, it does. I couldn't really see because it was a little blurry. And then all of a sudden I'm like looking at it and I'm like, dude, that has to be her. And I'm like, is it her? Because I'm thinking that, I don't know too much about this whole situation, but I'm thinking that it's happening in California or something, I didn't realize why it's happening here on the East Coast in Virginia of all places. I'm not really sure, but like, why is the lawsuit happening here? I don't know. It's really weird. But regardless, I'm like watching it and I'm like, that has to be her. And then I see a video and I'm like, it fucking is her. Like, what are you doing there? What the fuck are you doing at this trial? Why? So she calls into this show that I'm listening to. Hey, Carlos. And oh my God, dude. Oh my God. No, I don't think he has Alzheimer's. I don't think he has that. I think he's just probably on pills and he's a little slow, probably a little nervous too. But anyway, she gets on, like, he's I I fucking it just irks the shit out of me when big time, YouTubers give her credibility. This guy is pretty big. I mean, he's not huge, but he's got like 120 something thousand followers. So he's got a decent following. And I'm like, why are you fucking giving this woman any type of fucking, are you serious, Sarah? Any type of credibility? He's having her call in. He just gets a kick out of her. He just gets a kick out of her. And it just like it I try to not let it like affect me, but it kind of just makes me lose respect for people when they give her credibility. Like stop promoting this woman. She's fucking nobody. So he's asking her a bunch of questions about the trial, what's going on in the courtroom. And the whole fucking thing is about her and some drama that happened out in the, I don't know, parking lot, the cafeteria, wherever the fuck she was. And I'm like, what does this have to do with anything? Like, what is she there for? Besides to just get on TV and be a celebrity stalker. Like, what other function is she serving besides taking up air in the courtroom and space in the courtroom? Johnny stutters in real life. I know it seems weird. He even addressed it. Said he could give a dialogue a million miles a minute when he speaks. He has trouble. Yeah, he's very, very long-winded and hard to listen to. But I made it through his entire testimony. I mean, I made it through a lot of it. I really just like skipped over a lot of the tape testimony unless it was important. But I've been watching, I watched his friend. I watched some of the doctors that testified. His sister's testimony, which I thought was really important. And then, I don't think he's doing this for the money. I think he's doing it to clear his name. I mean, this is a common thing that happens with these narcissistic women. Hey, Nana, where they will completely make up these fucking just false stories and accusations against a person in an attempt to, run a smear campaign and basically ruin their reputation. And I feel like, that happened here. Could he have gotten, loud with her and violent with her? I mean, sure, anything's possible. I do personally believe that, certain people that you're with can bring out the worst in you. And maybe he's not an abusive person in his, otherwise in life, but her illness, her mental illness, her personality disorders, whatever the fuck she has, is bringing out the worst. And that's what happens when you're with these types of people. They bring out the worst in you. And so there's no doubt there that happened to me. And, maybe he turned to using drugs and alcohol as an escape from the kind of abuse that he was suffering, because you guys have to remember how much harder it is for a man to admit that he's in an abusive, situation. There's a lot of shame and embarrassment, because men aren't supposed to get in these types of situations. All right, let me get back on my computer here. So it is interesting, I want to hear the whole full testimony. At the end of the day, all these people could testify. Nobody really knows what was happening, but I just have a feeling that she's lying. She just looks like a witch. She really does. All right, let me add myself and remove my other self. All right. Sorry for the annoying. Why does he have the fake accent? He seems crazy. Like he is stuck in characters. He sounds Scottish. I don't know if I really picked that up, Gray. That he just sounds like, I don't know, he's very slow. And you have to wonder to yourself, yeah, is he like, he's an actor at the end of the day. Is he putting on an act? I don't know. Or maybe that's what this is. Maybe he's trying not to put on an act and this is actually the real him. Hey, November Rain, you made it. I don't know. It's really hard to tell, but boy, is he hard to listen to. I mean, he is like, it's a slow testimony. He lived in France and England for over a decade. I haven't really detected any accent necessarily, but just the slowness. Oh. And then some of the questions, like, well, his response time just is slow just in general, but like some of the questions and then his answers just don't seem to go with the questions. Like honestly, the best witness was his friend Isaac. That guy was amazing. People were making fun of him in the, in the audience. They were like, "Oh, he's a gangster." Like, dude, not everybody from New York is a gangster just because they have a fucking New York accent. That shit's so annoying. It's like so annoying. I hate that like stereotype that people have just because you have a New York accent, you're a gangster. So it's so fucking annoying. He is very long-winded. Yeah, he's eccentric. He sounds completely different in older interviews. I got to be honest, Gray, I haven't really like followed Johnny Depp's career all that much or watched him like he just wasn't he wasn't a lot of the movies that he was in. I've seen some of them, but like a lot of the movies that he was in just like never, captured my interest. Like I've seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. My brother was big time into that movie. He was a huge Hunter S. Thompson fan. And so, I've seen that. Ask me if I remember it. I don't. I saw Blow probably years ago. I don't remember it. I mean, he's a great actor, but I haven't followed his career, like watched interviews or anything like that, just because he just doesn't interest me. you know, I don't even know why I'm watching this. I guess it's just boredom. I'm watching it because it's really just the only thing that's on. By the way, Gray Hughes, I wanna give a big shout out to Gray Hughes last night for covering this story that happened here in New York, which is just horrible. This mother, a fellow Hungarian, who lived in Queens, Forest Hill, Queens, which is a kind of upper class area in Queens where, it's nice. It doesn't look like a very expensive place to live, but it's all these like Tudor style houses and reminds me of Bayside, Queens, which is the houses are ridiculously expensive for what they are. But anyway, this woman, this mother was home with young mother. She probably looked like she was maybe in her late 30s, early 40s, if I had to guess, maybe mid 40s now that I'm thinking about it, because she had teenage sons. So the dad and the older son, I believe, were away on this trip to go look at colleges. And she was actually supposed to take the younger son, who was about 13, to meet them in a couple of days. And it ends up they find her in a fucking hockey bag, in a Bauer hockey bag. Like I have like 3 or 4 of them in my garage. They're big. I mean, you could absolutely fit a body in there. Uh about I forget what it was, a couple of miles away from her house. And they have surveillance. I could show you guys of the person who killed her in her basement while her son was sleeping, stabbed her 57 times or something crazy like that. I mean, just massacred her, uh, stuffed her in a hockey bag, and then wheeled her body down the block and, around and kind of left her near this. To me, it looks like uh, off the highway, kind of one of the main roads. What do you mean? Where was I on Saturday? I didn't. I didn't see it. I just caught your live. Was it last night or the night before? I watched a little bit of it last night and I was like, "Oh my god. Oh my god, 58." She was 58. Damn, she looked good. I mean, just such a sad story. So they're saying the last I've heard on the news is that they know or they have a person of interest. That what's really creepy is that after this person did this, I think they took her phone and they texted the husband like this like menacing text, basically threatening the rest of the family and then saying that your wife had put me in jail. So I don't know if it's maybe an ex-lover, something, maybe an ex-boyfriend at some point. 58 times, 51 years old, stabbed 58 times. Okay, sorry. She was now reportedly in a bar for 40 minutes alone near her house. Really? She was a beautiful woman. And even at 51, I mean, she just looks gorgeous for her age. What a sad story. I believe she was a Hungarian immigrant because I looked at her Facebook page last night and her her college area where it says, your studies or whatever, it says that she studied in Budapest. So Excellent show last night. Gray Hughes investigates. Also, apparently somebody that had access to the house. Yeah, that's what they're saying. It was somebody that had access to the house. So it makes you wonder, is it a, brother-in-law? Who would you give access to your house? A cleaning person? But I feel like it's a family member that, usually when there's a stabbing like that, that's so brutal. Um, there's feelings involved in it. More often than not, strangers don't tend to stab that much. I mean, that's just complete overkill. Hey, Andy Cruz, just total overkill. Horrible, horrible. So there was like neighbors were walking the dogs, and the dogs were, ultimately what found her, sniffed the body. Could you imagine, like, just you're walking your dog, and all of a sudden you see a hockey bag? Now, somebody like me, who my son plays hockey, I would definitely be like, "What's this hockey bag doing, just sitting here?" And then unzipping it, and there's a body in there. I just can't even imagine finding something like that. One of the son's friends that was away with the husband, she wouldn't freak out that much if it was because the other son was asleep in the attic. Well, right. It had to be somebody who knew her. I mean, she was in the basement, which I find, strange, but I don't know if the person took her down in the basement or what, but definitely somebody that knew her. I mean, they said that it was somebody that probably had access to the house because there was no signs of forced entry. Thank you, Andy. So, just heartbreaking. Just just heartbreaking. Let me see if I could find the video if you guys are interested. Just give a little trigger warning there. I don't want anybody. It's very disturbing, um, to say the least. Trying to think where I was last night that I saw the. Hold on, let me see if I can share this with you guys. Go. I'd like to record this computer screen. Why does this keep doing this to me every time? I need to find something that I really can't stand StreamYards anymore. Why do I have to keep giving permission to do this? Unlock the screen by. Wait, what? Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen. To fix it, go to System Preferences. Okay. No, don't leave site. Hold on a second. My computer's being an asshole. I really cannot stand this fucking Chrome anymore. Okay, System Preferences in here? I guess so. Or is it System Preferences? No. I don't know. Chrome does not agree with this thing. Hold on. Unlock screen by selecting lock in the bottom left corner. What? I do not understand what the hell this thing is saying here, but we're going to figure it out. Click the lock. System preferences to unlock security and privacy settings. Okay. Yeah, why? All right, there we go. I'll not be able to record content until this is quit. Until it is quit? What? I don't know. Let's see if this works. It worked last time. I don't know what the hell's going on, but if not, I'll have to just give you guys a. Yeah, Chrome hates StreamYards. I wish they would make it compatible with Safari. I'm on Safari on a Mac, So let's see if it lets me share it. There we go. All right. Sorry, Mr. Gray Hughes, but I'm going to have to remove your beautiful face from the thing. So this is her. And it's just so sad. I don't know exactly where I was watching last night, but they showed like the footage of her. Oh, Queen's mom, look at that, sat alone at a local bar before she was slain. Oh my God. Oh my God. So maybe it was somebody she met up with. I wonder if she was having an affair. I hate that they keep writing a duffel bag because it wasn't. It was a hockey bag. Hold on. Let me just look at my phone and see if I can find the exact thing that I was watching last night. So sad. So sad. The suspect in the image dragging doesn't appear to be very big, could be male or female. Well, I heard conflicting reports. Some people said that the son was taken out of the house in handcuffs. That's why, like, the news just fucks everything up, man. It's crazy. But they said, the Gray said last night that might not have happened, but he got an email from somebody. So I'm not 100% sure how that all went down. But Andy, where's Hummingbird? I don't know. I should text her actually and tell her I'm live. Maybe she'll come on by. Oh crap. I hope opening my phone isn't gonna fuck this up. Dude, this thing's so temperamental. Thank you, Andy, for the super chats. Someone followed her home. Yeah. Got turned down, got mad. That's possible. Why would she be sitting in a bar alone though? That's weird. Let's see what that. She's to man. What does it say? Man who had relationship with Queen's mom. Ooh. Was she cheating on her husband? Yikes. Yikes. Died by NYPD. Fatal stabbing. Let's see. That is terrible. Ugh, I hate these pop-up things. Cops investigating the brutal stabbing of a Queen's mom, Orsolia Gal, are focused on a man they believe she had a romantic relationship with. Oh my God. So yeah, look at that. The NYPD has stopped short of identifying the man as a suspect in the married woman's murder because they don't yet have enough evidence against him, including whether he is the person seen on video dragging Gal's body away from her Forest Hills home. Like, what the fuck, dude? So clearly, and it just really just goes to show you, you look on Facebook. I looked at her Facebook last night. I mean, it's mostly private, but you look on people's Facebooks and you see, her and her husband together and they're going on these happy, Halloween, they're all dressed up and they're traveling all over. And I had a feeling something was up, when you see somebody who has a lot of profile pictures of them and their significant other, and then all of a sudden they just change it to pictures of just them. I don't know why. I always think to myself, well, what's going on? Which, I mean, I know people do that sometimes, but if you look at her profile, it seems like she started changing her pictures to pictures of just her, not with the family. It's kind of weird. Maybe she was disconnected. Who knows? Cops are also concerned if they label him a person of interest, he might surrender with a lawyer and refuse to answer questions. Wasn't clear how Gail met the man or how and when the relationship ended, but he has previously been in her family's Tony Tudor style home and may have done work around her house. Oof, that's scary shit. Gail was in contact with 3 men on the night before her death, law enforcement sources said on Tuesday. Holy shit. Gail, married with 2 children, went out last Friday to see a show in Manhattan near Lincoln Center, then arrived back in Queens about 11 p.m. and headed to a bar near her home, investigators have determined. Police are combing through her phone records looking for calls and texts that might suggest she was supposed to meet someone at the watering hole. She left the bar after about 40 minutes and arrived at her home on Juno Street by herself. The man who killed her later entered through a back door and attacked her on the first floor and in the basement, stabbing and slashing her at least 50 times, mostly in the neck and upper body. Oh my God. She also had wounds on her hands indicating that she put up a fight. Her 13-year-old son was sleeping upstairs, oblivious to the bloodshed. That is like so fucking heartbreaking to know that her son was upstairs sleeping. Hey, John. So God, man. That's sad. Doorbell video from nearby home shows the killer at about 4:30 a.m. Saturday wheeling the duffel bag, it was a hockey bag, containing her corpse away from the home en route to Metropolitan Avenue, where he dumped the bag just outside Forest Park. A dog walker discovered the body at about 8 a.m. Saturday. Wow. On Tuesday morning, cops put up a $3,500 reward posters around her neighborhood asking the public for information on the shocking murder. Holy shit, I almost just knocked my broom over. She was a wonderful, wonderful person. When I heard this, I couldn't believe it. Teary-eyed neighbor Ina Cohen told the Daily News Tuesday as she placed a bouquet of flowers outside Gal's home. Cohen works at a church in the Gardens Nursery School which Gal's two sons attended as tots. Recalling the happy family, Cohen couldn't fathom why Gal had been killed. There's nothing bad to say, she said. She always had a smile on her face. She was always proud of her children. It's such a tragedy. I just hope they find whoever did this, because what they did to her is horrible. Oh, God, it's just heartbreaking. I don't know where the footage is, but scroll down here. I'm not going to read the whole entire thing. It's just heartbreaking. Ugh. Let me see if I could find it on another page. The duffel bag lady, sad, didn't the killer text the husband? Yeah, Ash. They texted him, threatened, the safety of the family, and then also said that she had sent him to jail at some point in time, whatever that means. That right there, I mean, obviously should give the family some type of clue as to who it is, but very sad. Let's see if they have the footage. I'm just trying to find the footage for you guys. I saw like a picture of it, but let's see. We can find it. Oh, here we go. Oh, I don't want to play this guy's video. He's such a douche. I'll try to get through it. This guy, Joseph Morris, I hate giving him like any. Do you guys know who he is? I watched him during the Gabby Petito case, and he's just such a clickbait person. But let's see if he has their surveillance. That's why I don't like watching him, is because more often than not, it's clickbait, but he does have it here. Let's see. Oh, it's so creepy. All right, hold on. Oh, so creepy. So creepy. Let me just switch screens here for you guys. All right. Happy belated Easter to everybody. Hope everybody had a good time with their families. While we're talking about such horrible things. This guy is the biggest clickbait mother effer, but since he's the first one, yeah, Gray probably has it too. He was the first one that came up, so I'm just gonna. I don't actually know if Gray showed it. I forgot. I watched so many different videos last night, but we'll just take a little look here. I'm gonna enlarge this for you guys so you can see. Just pay no attention to the bald men on the left of the screen. Let me go back a little bit. Dude, these things like this just break my heart. I was watching this other video about this guy, it was a guy, this security guard who killed this girl. She was beautiful. He worked in an apartment complex, and I was just like, they had like all the security footage, and it's just so sad when you see things like this, and you're like, oh, like in this case, it's after the fact, but in the other one I was watching the other day, it was before the fact. And you just want to jump through the screen and tell the girl, no, it's just like horrible. All right, so let's take a look at this. I don't know why we can't hear it.
60 times last weekend. So still,
right, shut up.
But there was a new footage right here.
Oh, this is new footage.
Before this, there was only ever a still release, but there was a news report by ABC
see that?
New York.
How creepy.
And they somehow got the footage of the killer from the Nest camera.
Look at that.
And this actually looks more like a man.
Look at that. That is, that's just so sad. That's so unassuming too. A hockey bag just rolling down the street. They're really loud. So I can imagine it made some noise because I hear them all the time when you're rolling the hockey bags. They're just so loud with the wheels and the equipment. But, oh my God, it's just so sad to know that her body's in there.
Then the other one, because I knew there was...
Look at that. And he's just casually walking down the street.
Sort of issues in the last one.
Looks like he's carrying something. Let me see that again.
Then the other one, because I knew...
You see his hand right here?
I knew there was some...
He's got something in his... See that? What's he holding in there? That's weird. So focused on the bag that you don't even realize he's holding something in his hand.
Issues in the last one where we kind of were on the fence if it was a man or a woman.
Oh my God, why would you be on the fence if it was a man or a woman? People are dumb nowadays, not for nothing. I mean, everybody has cameras. My whole block, every house has a camera on it. So, it's a lot harder to get away with things. I could see why maybe he would think if the woman looks like they have tight pants on, but I don't know. They're walking
But the way
awfully
this
fast.
guy's walking definitely has a man kind of walk, if you know what I mean. Like
Why would you think it's a woman?
he kind of walks like,
Not for nothing, but I mean, more often than not, especially in a brutal killing like this, it's a man. Like, why are we even? Yeah, her blood was dripping out, CK, and that's how the cops they followed the blood trail all the way from the house to, I believe it was like a quarter mile away, to where her body in this bag was ultimately found. He's pulling a dead body and holding a box. It's kind of an awkward moment. Yeah, exactly. Fucked up, dude. Sorry. I gotta plug you guys in before my computer shuts off. Goddamn thing's never charged. Yeah, blood trail. That went on for a mile and a half. Or whatever it was. Dark shoes, yeah. But
there's something between his legs, to say the least. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think.
Some jazzy cherry eyes there, though. I have to say.
If you guys still think it's
like, is that battery operated, or do you have to plug your chair in?
a woman or not, but it does kind of look like a man to me with this new footage.
It definitely looks like a man.
As you know, 51-year-old Gall.
This isn't new footage. This is the footage.
Was stabbed to death in the early hours of Saturday after returning home.
It's weird. They sped it up
from a night out with friends.
To me, it looks like a younger guy. It looks like he has tight pants on. You know what I'm saying? I could understand completely why they questioned the teenage son. Because obviously he was the only one home with her, but also, it looks to me like a younger man, the way that they're dressed, the fact that they're kind of walking quickly with the bag. I'd feel like an older person would, take a little more time. I mean, just sad. I like that chair. It distracts me when I watch him. He has skinny jeans on. Yeah, definitely looks like a younger guy, in my opinion. Now, could it be maybe a friend of one of her sons? I mean, her oldest son's college aged. It's just fucking crazy, man. These things are just so disturbing to hear about.
Police believe she was attacked in her home by someone she knew in the basement.
He's kind of creepy looking.
And based on the fact there was no sign of forced entry at the $2 million home, her husband, Howard Klein, and oldest son, Jamie, were...
Now, I want to know why her last name and his last name is different. I don't know if that's because of a previous marriage or because maybe she just never changed her last name, but the husband's last name is Klein and hers is Gal or Gall or Soya. I don't know how you say her name. I'm Hungarian, but ask me if I could speak any Hungarian. No, definitely not. Did the Sutter father have the same thing on legally that resulted in that he would go to jail? What's the husband do for work? I don't know, Remy, but I know that he was away. So, now could it be a murder for hire kind of thing? Because that often happens when husbands go out of town. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. You think he's wearing a North Face? Must be a guy she may have dated at some point and dumped him and he never got over it. Yeah, that could be. If they're texting her husband, then it seems they have to know him. I mean, the police have already said that they suspect that they have a person of interest and they suspect that they know who this person was and the person had access to the house. So obviously it's either, a friend, a family member, or maybe somebody that they allowed in the house to, do work or clean or something like that. I mean, because how many people really do give access to your home? I forget what they said the husband did. I believe maybe he might have been in finance if I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I don't know. I'm asking in case he's a defense lawyer and lost the case. Yeah, that could be. That's a possibility. But no, I don't think he was an attorney. Maybe she was going in and hadn't locked the door yet. Handmade dolls. Columbia makes a jacket just like North Face. Really? What makes you think? Hold on, let me look back at this footage. I'm just
Out of town.
him using him for his footage. I was on News 4 New York. I could have just looked that up. I don't know. How could you tell what kind of jacket that is though? Oh, are you saying because like the top half is darker? I know that North Face, they have that kind of color blocking. If you guys look close, it's kind of hard to see, but it looks like the jacket's a little darker on the sleeves and the chest, and then down here it looks like it appears to be a little lighter. I mean, this is so hard to tell, but just based on this, it looks to me to be a younger person. Just the pants look tight, you know? I don't know. It's like, how the fuck do you do these things? How do people do this shit? I don't get it. I don't get it. Marine has bionic eyes. You could open a can of tuna with your fingernail too. I can today. I'm trying to figure out what to do to my nails. Just because there was no forced entry doesn't mean he has access to the house, just didn't force his way in. Well, they said, I mean, that's what the police said, Remy. I'm just going on the reports that I read. But you're right. I mean, he could have followed her home from the bar. Who knows? No, I think that the hockey bag was in the house. I'm pretty sure. Let me turn this guy off. He annoys me. All right. I hate that I even just used him. I'm not sure though. I mean, I looked at the Facebook page. It doesn't look like they were active hockey players. Maybe they were. I don't know. That was what initially like drew me to the video. But I was like, man, I was just happy to see Gray Hughes covering it. And you know, not just, I like that Gray has such a variety of cases that he covers, you know, not just the Summer Wells case or whatever. Because right now it's like you can't get away from the Johnny Depp case or the Summer Wells case. It's all yeah, that guy is annoying, November Rain. I watched him during the Gabby Petito, you know, days, and like just he would post these pictures of like people that clearly were not Brian Laundrie, you know, like clearly, and he would just post them and sit there and speculate, and then you know to try to save his ass when people were accusing him of being, you know, clickbait and whatever, he'd be like, this is a speculation channel. You know, it's like, no dude, you're just putting out false information just to put Gabby Petito in your title because your channel's blowing up right now because of it. You're just another one of those people that's just using these cases to blow your channel up. And I just fucking can't stand that. Yeah, November Reed, they texted the husband from her phone saying that, you know, the family is in danger, basically, and then saying that she had put him in jail years ago. Yeah, Nana, drive safely. We're here. We're here when you get home, girl. I stopped watching 99% on here except for our morning stream here. They're glad to see you on because things have been boring. I know. I'm the same here, girl. I'm with you. I was just looking at nail designs that were similar to the ones that you just did. I might copy you a little bit. If the jail thing is true, then that really narrows it down. That's what I'm saying. The husband gave him a key, hid in the basement. Older homes have laundry in the basement. Or she heard a noise. Well, it could be somebody that she knew. It could be somebody that had access to the house, like it says. That's why I don't know. Some people are so. Even my mom one time, she would give like the keys to people to her house, and I just like, I don't know. I'm not like that. I'm very like weird with my home. Like I don't like people. I don't even like people coming over here when my husband's not home to like service things. Like I don't like having people in my house when my husband's not home, like a man. I don't want a man in the house. I don't care who it is. I just don't want them in the house when my husband's not here. Like some people are just so trusting with their homes, like they'll hire somebody to do flooring in their home and they'll give the person their keys and that just I don't know. I'm just different, I guess. It it's scary to me to give some stranger a key to your home. I'm like your mom. I let almost everyone in. Like my mom would give um what's this dream about before I engage? What are you talking about? Dream? What dream? Uh why don't you rewind, dude? I'm like your mom. I let him. Yeah, my mom used to like. I don't know. She would just give her keys to like people that were doing work on her house. Like I am not like that. I don't want people in the house that I don't know. I mean, one of the guys that she gave the key to was a guy that she worked with, but still, I was like uncomfortable with it. Any work done recently to the home moving people, hide a key thing outside. I don't have a man coming either. No, I would never let anybody in my house. Even like my husband had a thing for the boiler one time, and I'm like, yo, tell him to come back when you're home. I'm not letting some strange dude in the house. I buried a key in case I ever got. I buried a key in case I ever got locked out years ago. And you lost it? That's not good. Do you Airbnb in your house? No, I'm not Molly Golightly. You got the wrong channel, dude. Wrong channel. Why would I have an Airbnb at my house? I'm assuming this is an East Coast gal. Yes, I'm from New York, in case you can't tell by my accent. So, yeah, so that was interesting. Hey, social fade. Poor social fade over there getting beat up by Tiffany. Did she lift her strike on your channel? Chicago? I don't sound like I'm from Chicago. Hey, Winky. I'm the same way when I get my car service. They take out my home keys. People have your address. Yeah, dude, it's just scary. We're living in scary times right now. That's for sure. Very scary. Why what? Don't ever read. That's one of the least PTSD crimes I've ever experienced. What do you mean? If she did, it didn't work. Oh, so it got dropped. Hey, I say let her keep striking you, social fade, and strike everybody else. Because guess what? Guess what? She's gonna lose her channel, dude. You can't just keep striking people at your whim because you know you wanna all these false strikes that she's giving out every time they get dropped, it's gonna count against her, and eventually YouTube is gonna get sick of it because you're wasting their time. Thanks, polka dot Suzanne. I had to restart my phone. I guess November Rain because Social Fade had put out a little video, playing her own words, just clipped her, and she don't like that. She don't like that. So, God forbid, God forbid you get criticized when you're on the internet. It's just like I wish Crude wouldn't have left. I understand his decision to leave, but fucking, Marissa threatening that she's gonna sue him and go after him. She ain't doing shit. She ain't doing nothing. Get out of here. She ain't suing nobody. She ain't doing nothing. She loves the haters. Trust me. It gives her more attention. That report button will go away as well. Yeah, it will. Tiffany can dish it out, but can't take it. Exactly, crazy Gemini. I mean, and that's always been her thing. She's always been able to dish it out, but not take it. She struck me a million times. I would talk about her, right? And then like the next day or a day or two later, I'd get one time I got a strike from her because I don't know, I said something like her grandmother or her dad or something like that. Probably both. And I go to like the timestamp because when you get a privacy strike, you get a timestamp along with it. And I go to the timestamp and it's like literally me just saying that like her grandmother passed away or something, like whatever it was, I don't remember exact words, but it was something as stupid as that she gave me a privacy strike for. Like, I was just like, what the fuck, dude? Give me a fucking break. She's not suing anything. Yeah, she ain't suing nobody, dude. She ain't fucking suing nobody. I would never let that asshole. I'd be like, come bring your fucking lawsuit over here, bitch. Please. How many times did she threaten to sue me? I can't even fucking remember. Listen, you could sue anybody for any reason, as JLR has proven. It doesn't mean that you're going to win. It doesn't mean that you're going to have even a case. It just means that you can sue. And she ain't suing nobody. If he leaves every time, I get why people will do that to silence him. People doing that are actually violating his right to free speech. She's not suing anybody. She's definitely not suing anybody. She loves the negative attention. Don't let her fucking fool you. What is her suit? People don't realize this. Like all these people, threaten this defamation bullshit on here, and watching this Johnny Depp trial should show you. I mean, it's very hard to win a lawsuit like that. You have to prove that there was some type of financial loss. Now he literally has a case because he got taken out of the his contract with Disney. He lost his entire contract with Disney. Any movies that he was doing, there was supposed to be another Pirates of the Caribbean, 6 or whatever. I haven't even seen second, third, or fourth or fifth one, but there was supposed to be another one. And because of her saying that he was abusing her and posting all these pictures and all this other crazy shit and, saying he's a drug addict and all this, which obviously is true. I mean, he's admitted to that. But because of that, he lost his contract with Disney. So he has a case there that he lost finances. This is crazy. The cloud in front of me is shaped just like Long Island. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, but what is Molly Golightly going to prove that Crude has taken away from her financially? I mean, Disney dropped his contract because of those articles. And I guarantee you, after he's done suing Amber, he'll sue Disney too. Watch. He lost his role on the Fantastic Beasts 2, which I'm sure was a pretty petty with it being in the Harry Potter franchise. Oh, really? See? Yeah. So, I mean, he has a case because he lost something due to her defamation. But people on here, they can't prove that they've lost anything financially due to the shit talking that goes on. So she doesn't have a lawsuit. And what is she going to do? Try what Betty Bullhorn tried and bring him to court for lies based on lies? I mean, I respect his decision either way. I just, it's bullshit. Just, I hope he knows that. As somebody who's dealt with her shit for the last 4 years, 3 years, trust me, she's just trying to scare you, dude. That's all she's trying to do, and silence you. And her other tactics, like calling, having people swatted and all that other shit, obviously don't work. So she's trying new tactics. That's really what it comes down to. Have you seen the video I posted of Johnny Depp on my channel? Makeup. I found it very funny. No, I didn't. Let me see. Andy Cruz. I feel so bad for Depp. He obviously has a bunch of vultures playing on him because he's a celebrity. Yeah, and I mean, he sounds like, one thing that I've noticed that's seemed like a theme throughout is that he's not a selfish guy. I mean, he's helped out a lot of people. Can abusers be charitable and, you know what I'm saying, nice to people? Yeah, sure. But nobody in the history of knowing this man has seen him ever be abusive towards anybody. So it's, but they've all witnessed her being abusive towards him and towards others. Hold on, let me go to Mr. Andy Cruz's page. I love me some Johnny Depp. Dude, it's been windy here like you wouldn't believe. She should try to sue Burnt Toast. Yeah. Well, that's why I feel like Crude is getting targeted specifically because he's a man, and a lot of these fucking big mouth women, they'll go after men, no problem, but when it comes to another woman, they won't. And that, his name is out there, unfortunately. So listen, if I could go back, I would take the same route Burnt Toast took. I would literally be a piece of toast and not have any of my information out because people are fucking just assholes. Like, I wouldn't share any of my personal shit on here because people are just shitty on the internet, unfortunately. Andy, where is it? Is it the one with the comments? These comments made me laugh on Johnny Depp's trial. Hold on. Let me wait for him to answer. Snow, yeah. Sounds like I've missed a lot. No, Crime Canary. I don't think there's been too much going on. All of our schools were even closed. Holy shit. Yeah, it was cold here today. I made the mistake of planting some of my bulbs, and then, it got fucking cold out. So Burnt Toast is extremely smart. She is. I really do wish I took her I wish I took her, her route and just kept my personal life out of this. All right, hold on, Andy. Let me just pause this for a second so I could share it. Go sub up to Andy Cruz. Andy Cruz. Andy, I was watching this channel the other day and I was thinking of you. You should dude, you should totally start what do you do? Uber, an Uber channel. I was watching this guy. He had a whole channel. He films his Uber people. I mean, he blocks their faces out, but holy shit, crazy ass shit that this guy went through as an Uber driver. I don't know what happened to him. All right, let's see.
Ms. Heard say about feeling insecure. She told me she didn't like hanging out in his house with his friends because it was boring and they were all old men playing guitars and it wasn't interesting to her.
So funny because the old men friends are actually rock stars. 100% reminiscing about the good time he had at the party. Sounds like a great time. Bro, her own assistant spoke against her and how good Johnny was with her son. That woman was, whew, did that woman hate her? That woman was like, fuck Amber Heard. She did not, she did not like her. I mean, to be quite honest with you, the old assistant wasn't a very likable person herself, but she did not like Amber Heard at all. Like, at all.
What else did Miss Heard say about feeling insecure? She told me she didn't like hanging out in his house with his friends because
she married an older guy and then was bummed she was with an older guy. Married to the coolest person and you were bored. He's just thinking about all the fun he had with
those gentlemen. And they were all old men playing guitars and it wasn't interesting to her.
He's not allowed to do stuff he likes with his friends. Oh my God. Why is this televised but Maxwell wasn't? What's Maxwell? The old men were probably like Steven Tyler and James Hetfield or something.
What else did Miss Heard say about feeling insecure?
Those old men included Alice Cooper and Joe Perry of Aerosmith.
She told me she didn't like hanging out in his house with his friends because it was boring. And
some girls like, I would watch that gorgeous old man play guitar all day long. Oh my God. And that's why you don't marry someone 20 years younger.
Old men playing guitars, and it wasn't interesting to her.
I couldn't help but see Captain Jack Sparrow when he smirked. Did she not know his age when they married? Can you believe she actually complained about that? Like, not for nothing. That's one of the biggest things that I fucking hate about other women. Not all other women are like that, but like, why the fuck do you get in a relationship? And I've seen this with friends. I've seen it with family members, guy friends that I've had, that like these women get in these relationships with these men and then like want to fucking change them or act like they don't know who they were before they married them. It's like, you shouldn't go into any relationship with the intention of changing a person and trying to mold them into what you want them to be instead of just who they are, because that's not love. That's not how you love somebody. You don't love somebody by changing them. Like, I can never understand that concept of like women who come in, they meet a guy and then they want to change everything about them. The way they dress, the music that they're into, like, just why even be with the person? Go find somebody who fits your fucking criteria instead of engaging with a person and trying to mold them into what you want them to be. I don't get it.
What else did Miss Heard say about feeling insecure? She told me she didn't like hanging out in his house with his friends because it was boring and
like, you didn't know that he was into partying and drugs. I mean, come on. We all knew that. It really do be youth wasted on the young. I think it sounds like a great night. He just married the wrong girl. I'm available.
Old men playing guitars, and it wasn't interesting to her.
He is laughing, if you could see. I like old men playing guitars. Pick me. Wow. What an asshole. What a bitch. I just can't stand that. I heard the sister's testimony and I was like, holy shit, I'd never thought I'd have anything in common with Johnny Depp's sister. Well, I didn't even know he had a sister. But she was talking about when they first got in, the relationship and how his whole personality changed and his demeanor changed and he just didn't seem, like himself. And that every time she would see him, he would rush to like leave. Like, it was always like this in and out, thing. Like, he'd come, whatever he had to take care of, he'd take care of it. And then he was always in this rush to get back to her. And I was like, holy shit, that's exactly how it was with my brother and his wife. Like, that's what got me worried in the very beginning when they started dating, was that like his whole fucking personality disappeared. He was usually very loud and talkative and funny and and he just was like quiet. Anytime she was around, it was so weird. It was so uncomfortable because like he was just quiet. He wasn't acting like himself. He wasn't joking around. And he just always seemed really uncomfortable around her. I mean, she, has that tendency to make people uncomfortable. Robert Butterfinger, dude, your troll is bad, dude. I'm just saying. Why do women fight so aggressively? Was I ever in a fight? I mean, it depends. What do you consider a fight? I mean, yeah, I guess so. I've been in plenty of fights. Did you listen to the recording of them that pretty much proves she was the abusive one when she mocked the fuck out of him when he said she punched him? And she said, I didn't hit you. I didn't punch you. I don't know. I heard some recording where she's like totally fucking gaslighting him. I mean, I question recordings sometimes just because like the person that's recording it obviously knows that they're recording it. So they might not, you know what I'm saying? They might not be acting as aggressively as they normally would because they know they're recording it. But hey, been a while, but so you're live after watching the trial. She cannot control Depp as he is himself. Well, that's what it is. That's what I don't understand though. Why do you want to control somebody? Why do you want to fucking control somebody? Just hearing that, like, it brought me back to when, I was in that situation with my brother and just like that uncomfortable feeling that his wife gave me, and the way that his personality changed, and even the way he used to like, if he ever did come over, which was rare, by himself, he would always like, like for instance, one time my mom, asked him to close the pool or something. He came over, he did that, and then it was just like boom, like he didn't even sit down with us. He just fucking ran. And it was always like that. It was always like, I gotta get back home, I gotta get to her. And it was like, dude, what the fuck? Like I used to go over my mom's house and sit there for the whole entire day. Like I didn't give a shit. My husband would be home doing something. Robert Butterfingers, me and Megan Mobster met up in a park and ripped each other's hair. She ripped out my earring too. We went and had crumpets and tea afterwards. Yeah. Yeah. You heard MMA is legal? I don't know, dude. I don't care. I don't watch MMA, so no offense. Not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. I don't watch that shit. I have no interest in MMA. I can't with the trolls. I blocked. They pissed me off. Whatever. Let them do their thing. At least he's not being a mean troll. I'll give him that. I mean, he's just like being one of those like weird trolls, but not a mean one. He is Johnny Depp. He didn't get there by listening to people like her. Yeah. Well, if you heard it this morning, he spoke about his childhood, and his mom was abusive towards him, and the dad just got up and left, and it was kind of a sad story. And a lot of times when people come out of situations like that, they become kind of codependent, and they're more vulnerable, I guess, to ending up with abusers, unfortunately. Like I said, aggressive. She's calling me a troll. Yeah, that's real aggressive. Are you going to finish your series? Hold on. I'm sorry. Are you going to finish your series that you have on YouTube? I watch every episode of it. It's helped me so much. Carrie, yeah, I want to finish it. It got so, I don't know. It got a little overwhelming after a while, and I felt like I just needed a break from it. I needed to like heal. And then I tried refilming it, like, I don't know how many times. And then I sit there and I edit it, and I just don't like the way that it came out. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know why. I'm just like stuck in this part of the story that I feel like is so hard for me to finish it. Why would you be on her chat if you fought her? I don't know, dude. This person's troll is, it's not a good one. It's not a good one. Hear that bird? What kind of bird is that? I wish I was like Soldier. She like knows all the bird calls. I always get the weirdos in here, Crime Canary. I really do. His childhood was so very sad. She took advantage of. That was another reason why I was watching this Ictamel guy, whatever the hell his name is, because he had two cameras, and one was showing her face, and her reactions to like what he was saying on the stand. But I have to say, she must have put on her acting shoes today and really just was like sitting there very stoically, not, having any real type of, reaction. That's definitely not a Woody Woodpecker. I just saw a little bird fly by, but I don't see any birds. Is that a cardinal? I don't know. If it is, nice whistle, cardinal. Yeah, but she was definitely just like kind of sitting there with a kind of blank look on her face. Not really. Dude, I'll tell you right now, I would never last at a trial like that, because I'm one of those people, like, I just cannot hide my facial expressions. Like, if somebody's annoying me, I'm rolling my eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or if somebody's saying something that's not true, I can't help myself but like have that reaction in my face. It's just really fucking hard for me to like not have a reaction. Oh, and tame down her makeup. No pun. Why is this thing popping up? Sorry. Some flash thing just popped up. Tame down makeup. Yeah, she's very. Ugh. She looks like a fucking bitch. She's got a very hardcore resting bitch face, that's for sure. I got made fun of my whole life for being weird. Shouldn't call people names. I'll leave then. I just haven't been out of the house in years. Are you Tiffany, Robert? I'm sorry. I got you confused with somebody else. Prettiest woodpecker at our bird feeder today. Huge break. Woodpeckers can be very actually beautiful birds. Polka dot Suzanne, I cannot hide my feelings. Like, I can't hide facial expressions. I wish I could, but I can't. I remember being in the hospital when my mom was in the hospital and my brother's wife would come in and I would just like, dude, I was fighting it so hard, just like trying not to roll my eyes into the back of my head. It's hard. It's very hard for me. You have a hummingbird? I love hummingbirds. She said, what do you mean? Resting bitch face. Yeah, that's what it is. 21 Jump Street. I never watched that. Never watched it. My last name was always a pun. Huh? I know your eyes went up in your brain. I mean, I couldn't help myself. And I was really sincerely trying to not do that, but it's just I really just can't help it. It's really hard for me. Really, really hard for me. When I'm annoyed at something, I just can't hide my expressions. Think Depp was once. Yes, he was, Ben. That was actually, he was telling the story today that, and I didn't know that. That was actually one of his first acting gigs was Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't even remember him being in that. That guy, Ictamel, he's covering the case. He's like, I didn't know that was Johnny Depp in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I'm like, are you kidding? He was the main character, but okay. That guy was just annoying me because he's he got such a kick out of Molly Golightly. And I'm like, dude, stop giving this fucking asshole credibility. She went on his panel and he's asking questions about the trial. And she's not even talking about that because she's not even probably paying attention. He said that she left. She left while Johnny Depp was testifying. Why would you leave during the most important testimony? You know what I'm saying? If you're going there to be taken as a legit crime channel, why would you leave during the most important testimony of the whole case? Make it make sense. Yeah, Social Fate, I'd have to say that my favorite Johnny Depp movie is Edward Scissorhands, hands down. That movie is just, it seemed such a silly concept. I remember watching the, coming attractions for it. This is stupid, but nope. It's pretty genius. And then where he said he was talking about where he got the that he changes the characters all the time and the producers get mad at him, he doesn't necessarily go with whatever script that he got. So he said when it came to Edward Scissorhands, he was, I don't know, he was channeling babies and dogs or something. It was fucking weird. And if you think about it, the way that Edward Scissorhands kind of walks around and looks, he kind of does have that same expression that a baby would have on. Nobody could have played Edward Scissorhands better than he did. That was just a really good performance. I don't even think, does he even talk? Yeah, I guess he had a few lines in that movie. Ever had gnocchi? Yeah, I've had gnocchi several times. Donnie Brasco, that was another movie. I don't know why I never got into that one. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? I never saw that movie either. I haven't seen a lot of his movies, believe it or not. I don't know. Everybody loved Donnie Brasco so much. I don't know why. I just that movie. I found it so hard to get through that. that movie. I don't know why. I have a coworker from New Jersey, and you could hear her in a crowd over 100 people. Is her name Molly Golightly? He was great in that movie, Blow and Brasco. Yeah, I mean, he's a great actor. There's no question to that. Wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio in that? He's another great actor. Now him, I've followed him since he like started. Well, I don't know since he started because I don't know, maybe I was a kid, but I mean, I've watched so many of his movies, I couldn't even count. I mean, even like some movies that people don't even probably know about, like Basketball Diaries. There was a great movie with him and Robert De Niro played the father. It was an HBO movie. I don't think it was ever in theaters. And it's called This Boy's Life. And it was starring Robert De Niro. He was like this abusive stepfather. And Leonardo DiCaprio is the son. Oh my God. Fucking good movie. Just great acting. Like, it's so shameful that it took Leonardo DiCaprio so long to get an Oscar award because he probably should have had one when he was like a teenager. Jod Birdsall, I have no idea who that is. Leo and Johnny were in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, one of my favorite movies. I've never seen that. This Boy's Life is based on a true story. Is it really? It was sad, but good movie. Great movie. And Basketball Diaries, he plays like a heroin addict, I believe. And his acting was just unbelievable. Longest show I ever watched was The Walking Dead. I never watched that show. I was in love with Leo, bought a book about him in like 6th grade. Wasn't he in Benjamin Button? I don't know. No, I thought that was what's his face? Holy shit, Brad Pitt. Dude, I remember like back in like the 80s and 90s. I mean, you couldn't walk into a supermarket or a 7-Eleven or anywhere without seeing Johnny Depp's face on the cover of Bop, whatever the fuck that shit was, Team Bop, and all those fucking, things. Serious question. Do you like serious movies like based in addiction or true stories? I mean, I like I like all types of movies, to be honest with you. I like movies that are not movies that have already been made. So I don't watch remakes. I like movies that aren't based on like comic books or, you know, shit like that. Like original screenplays that just have that. I mean, I don't mind if it's based on a true story, but I like movies that are make you think, you know, not movies that are just like explosions and shit. Like I'm not into like action movies really. And I'm definitely not into the superhero movies. Like, how many fucking Batmans are there? No offense to anybody that likes Batman. It's just like, how many more fucking Batman movies could we have? Like, I like Brad Pitt personally. I mean, he's another one. I haven't followed or watched every movie, but I certainly like them in Fight Club. I mean, come on. I like psychological thriller. I never saw that one, Shutter Island. Shutter Island is one that will make you think. I don't think I've seen it. As I loved it till they took out Glenn Abraham. What's that? My favorite show of all time is The Sopranos. I mean, hands down, that's the best show. It was the best show ever. I was so against it in the beginning too. I was like, I'm not watching this. Who wants to watch about a fucking New Jersey crime family? And then I just got addicted. I agree with that, Crime Canary. Michael Keaton was the best Batman. Like, fucking, what's his name? Who played the Penguin? Danny DeVito. I don't know. That I like the old Batmans from when like we were kids. Prefer dramas, psychological movies. I just like things that are the ending was horrible. Crazy Gemini. It was horrible, but it was also genius, you know, because you don't know what happens. The best ending to a series that I've ever seen in my entire fucking life was 6 Feet Under. That was another great show. All those shows that ran on HBO at that time, Sex and the City, 6 Feet Under, Sopranos. I mean, those are just great shows. Great shows. Yes, Jack Nicklaus as the Joker. I mean, you don't get any better than that. 6 Feet Under was an amazing show. It was really the last episode was just so like emotional because they bring you through like the whole life cycle. It's just was so. I remember like I came into work the next day and there was this one other person at work that watched it, and we were both just like fucked up like the next day. Like, what happened, dude? That was so sad. It was like you just kind of realize how like short life is. I don't know. It was fucking crazy. I think that's probably one of the best like finales I've ever seen to a series in my life. If you haven't checked out 6 Feet Under, check it out. I don't know where you could watch it, but I'm sure it's on like Hulu or one of those shows. It was a really cool show. The concept just behind it, that they would start that episode off usually with a person who died, obviously, 'cause they ran a funeral home, and they would it would be like some crazy accident or something, and then that theme would kind of carry throughout the show, and then it was just like a show about a family that ran this funeral business. It was somehow interesting. Claire lived to be 102. How do you remember that, Love Shack Sour? I would never remember that. Maybe I'm projecting at this point. It's amazing what humans have been through when watching some of these movies. Well, that is true. I love love stories. See, I'm not like one of those mushy girls that likes like those like romantic comedies or any like like no. If fucking Jennifer Lopez starred in it, I no thank you. Like no thank you. I'm not into those like girly movies. I never was. I never watched any of that shit. My favorite show ever. I own all the DVDs. I own all the DVDs to what do you call it? Fucking Sex in the City. I kind of accidentally inherited them from my friend George when he passed away. He was like my friend George. He like literally bought every movie, every series, he had the biggest DVD collection I've ever seen in my life. I hate how Keith died. Wasn't he shot or something? Silence of the Lambs was a good movie. That shit scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid. Hold on, I'm trying to read your comment. When my son was an undercover narcotics detective, his name was Tyler Durden. He chose that name. You love Fight Club. Hilarious. He even had a real get out of here. That's so funny. Tyler Durden. And nobody caught on to that shit. I have Sex and the City. I need the very last one. I have the whole series just because my friend let me borrow it, and then he passed away, so I just kind of kept it. So I have the whole series. Did you watch the reboot? I hated it. Of what? Sex and the City? No. Did they have it? I didn't watch it. Who the hell wants to see it without Samantha? I watched the movies. The movies were lame too, but I had to go see them. That was a movie. That was a movie all in its own category. Koreans think of crazy shit. What's that? Can't believe she's back with Ben after he dumped her for Garner. Yeah, and then didn't he cheat on Jennifer Garner? I can't stand Ben Affleck. I don't know what it is, but I just fucking hate him. And I don't even know why. I think it's from Mallrats. I swear to God. I watched Mallrats. I love any Kevin Smith movie. Like, I just absolutely love them. Except Dogma. That one was kind of like, I don't know. That one I really wasn't into, but most of them, I should say. But his character, he was such a dick in that movie, and I just for some reason picture him just being that dick in real life, and that's maybe why I can't stand him. I don't know. I just like, ugh, he's just a douche. He looks like a douche. Geely, that shit was fucking horrible. Me and my brother, you know, the guy that I was such a horrible sister to. We were like bored one night, so we're like, let's go run. He made me watch Geely because he wanted to see how horrible it was, because it was like probably the worst movie of all time. And so we rented it. We go rent it, and we're watching it. Oh my god, dude, that was seriously like I don't even know how they got funding to make that movie. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck had zero chemistry on screen. It was just it was fucking horrible. The story was horrible, the acting was horrible, like just everything about it was fucking horrible. The whole fucking concept of the movie was horrible. He made me fucking watch it. I love George Carlin too. He's a whiner. I'm not a fan. What? Was watching Johnny. Yeah, me too, B Fergs. We were talking about that. I watched, most of it. Bunch of people down on their luck join this game to win a handsome sum of money. What's that? Oh, it's so bad, dude. So bad. If Selena lived, none of us would know. J-Lo, true story. That is true, Sarah. J-Lo is a fucking crock of shit. I think I've expressed my hatred towards her too. Not hatred. I mean, I don't hate the woman. She's beautiful. I just like she's such an asshole. She's known in Hollywood as being an asshole. She thinks she's like better than everybody. She thinks she's the best actress, best singer. Meanwhile, half her shit is sung by other singers. Ashanti. George Carlin was the best, dude. He's fucking hilarious. Oh, Squid Game. I don't watch that. I've heard of it, but I don't watch that. She was a fly girl, but she didn't meet the fly girls. It took a long time for her to actually become a fly girl. Lita don't like Bennifer. I like Ben and Good Will Hunting. I never saw that movie. JLo is so big now, she's really jerk face. Oh yeah, she's an asshole. She's a fucking asshole. She really thinks she puts down all the other actresses and singers. She thinks she's better than Beyonce. Like, come on, girl. You ain't better than Beyonce. And I'm not even like a big Beyonce fan, but yeah, no, she can't be without a man for 2 seconds. She's literally probably dated every fucking guy in Hollywood. Like, assuming we are the same age, 30s, you grew up with that 70s show. Yeah, I'm in my early 40s, but yeah, I know that show. That 70s show. She looks nothing like the days of Fly Girl. Nothing natural about her. Well, yeah, she's obviously had some work done, even though she credits her, skin to olive oil. Okay, girl. Mm-hmm. YouTube has been dead. I'm like, where's our community? Like, where is everybody? Where's like all the people that normally go live? Nobody's been going live. I feel like I don't know. I don't know what happened. Half the people are hiding in the Summer Wells community, which I just don't want anything to fucking do with. And then you got, I don't know, everybody, it's all crazy. It's all just crazy. Ashton Kutcher is married. Yes, he is. She's beautiful, Mila Kunis. That was a great show. Olive oil my foot. Yeah, no, it's called injections. Maybe some good, genetics. I thought she made a cute couple with Alex Rodriguez. I don't know what the hell she ever saw in Mark Anthony. That guy is. Ugh. I know we should not speak ill of children, but her kids are homely as fuck. Look up JLo childhood pic. You'll see she had a lot of work done. No, I've seen her when she was young. She's definitely don't look the same. I unsubbed tons of channels. I have no idea what's going on. Me neither, Beefards. I really don't. I don't know. I've been watching all sorts of other shit. Yeah, Mark, he looks like Skeletor. He's gross. I've been watching crazy shit. I watch a lot of because I'm fucking weird, but I like watching interrogations. I don't know why. So I've been watching a lot of those. It's all right, man. It's all good, Robert. Have a good day. She's needy as Amber. Yeah. Yeah, that's what he looks like. Skeletor. Mark Anthony. He's fucking gross. Nothing attractive about him. She can't be in a relationship. It's like for too long. She must get bored easily. JLo has a pretty skin tone. Oh yeah, she's beautiful. I mean, she's gorgeous. But I love AWP. What's that? Nana. AWP. I'm trying to think. Mark Anthony is hot. What are you talking about? Oh, Andy. Man, the birds are out today. Hopefully the weather gets better. My boss and other prosecutors were yelling. Well, Beefergs, I couldn't believe how they were. First of all, I hate her fucking attorney. Her attorney, the girl, the woman, is the biggest fucking see you next Tuesday bitch on the planet. I mean, the questions she was asking. Oh, Adventures with Purpose. Yeah, I like them too. The questions she was asking that sound guy, the sound technician, were just like so fucking holy shit. I couldn't believe, and it just was so cringy coming out of her mouth. I don't even want to repeat it. But she was asking like really fucked up questions to this guy. And she's just such a bitch. But they don't like today, they were just letting him drone on. And I was really surprised at the lack of objections. You know, they were just like maybe towards the end, objection foundation. But I was really, really, really oh, her attorney is probably as unlikable as her. Like, not for nothing. If you're an unlikable person, you need to find a really personable attorney. This woman, if I was a juror, I would be so. I mean, I am, but I'm saying if I was a juror, I'd be so turned off to the attorney. She's such a bitch. I mean, she's horrible. Oh, you have Cried Canary? Which one? The list one, right? It's a really good podcast. She was out of control. He's paid union wages, not by JD. I know. There was no reason for her to even be asking those questions. I feel like his attorneys are kind of just I mean, they were objecting obviously to that, saying that she's harassing him, which she basically was, but she's horrible. She's fucking absolutely horrible, that woman. And she just comes across like such a bitch. I can't wait to see Amber on the fucking stand. That's going to be interesting because she just comes across just looking at her as an unlikable person. I didn't even know she was an actress, so I don't know any movies that she's in. But I mean, holy shit. She let that Isaac go on and made her client look bad. She's definitely not a trial lawyer. No, that's what my attorney when I was going through my mom's estate and everything, and I had to be at my attorney's office like fucking all the time. He was talking about my brother's attorney, and he's like there's different types of attorneys. Is like not every attorney is a litigator, meaning that not every attorney is good at arguing in court. She certainly is not a very good litigator. I don't know where she got those attorneys from. She sure had a lot of friends and family living off his oh yeah. I mean, talk about taking gross advantage of somebody. I mean, that guy Isaac was so grateful, to Johnny Depp. And I mean, of course, these people are gonna, they're his friends. They're gonna testify that he's this great guy, but he does seem like a very generous person. I mean, really, why? What is he getting out of financing this guy's art? He didn't want anything out of it. He didn't want money. He just wanted to see his friend be successful in something. That's all, that's all he was looking for. He invested money in him, but it wasn't even an investment for him because he didn't expect any type of return on it. She was a no name before. I personally feel like she used him. And She reminds me of Jodi Arias. I feel like she used him. She used him, for his fame. I mean, Johnny Depp is a legendary actor. It's not, it's not like he's some bullshit actor. He's a legend. You know, he's been in a huge variety of movies that have been really successful. Even before Pirates of the Caribbean, I feel like he's a lot more mainstream maybe nowadays because of that, but he was famous long before that. I mean, it's like he's in the same, caliber as Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio, or he's a fucking huge actor. And I feel like she just took advantage of his generosity. The one weird thing, and it's weird, he didn't know what to call it. It was a red flag. That's what I would call it. Was that he said, it's weird that this sticks out in his mind, but I guess it's just one of those things, that he said that, when they first met and started dating, I guess first red flag should have been that she was in a relationship with a woman. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but to me, somebody who goes and bounces back and forth from relationships with women to men to women to men, there's something going on there, there's some kind of instability, I guess, going on there. So they start dating, and he says that, she takes his boots off for him and whatever. And then there was one day he came home and he took his own boots off, and she like got mad at him, like really mad, because he took his own boots off. And like he didn't know what to call it, but it was a red flag, I guess, in the relationship, that something was off with her. Yeah, she wanted to take his shoes off. She was awful in the Stand remake. It was, who's that? Blonde model. What do you think of Guys Get Out of It? They don't marry people like me. What do you mean, dolls? I don't know why, but one main reason I couldn't be with an actor is because who knows when they're acting. Maybe. Yeah, she wanted to take his shoes off. Like, I guess what he was trying to get at was that she wanted to control everything. She had her own system, of and her way of doing things, and it was a maybe sign of things to come in the future for him, control wise, where she wanted to have complete control over him. One of the other things that sticks out and that everybody says is that she was always very pleasant, to other people when she first met them. Oh, do you need something to eat? And it's funny because I know women like that are like that. He brought so much joy to kids dressing up as, hold on a second. I missed that, Nana. Jack Sparrow when visiting hospitals. Yes. She's a very good manipulator. She's fucking crazy. That's the whole thing, Ellie. It always happens like that. These people start off in these relationships and they don't know, because at first these people like her are very endearing and charming, and they're mirroring everything. He even said it today, as she was too good to be true. And unfortunately, when you meet somebody like that and it seems like they're too good to be true, they usually are. And he's giving all the classic signs, and I don't even know if he realizes it, but he's giving all the classic signs of a female narcissist, I guess, where he's saying that, she was into everything that I was into. And that's what they do. When they meet a partner, they will mirror every single thing. They'll learn whatever they can about you, right? And then they mirror it back to you. So if you're into cars, they're into cars. If you're into sports, they're into sports, whatever it is. Jazz music. He's like, oh, she was into this obscure jazz music. I bet you $1 million she really wasn't. She probably just pretended to be, to mirror him and get him interested in her. And so that's what they'll do. They'll study you. And like somebody like him, it's really easy because he's famous. Although he was a pretty private, famous person, he's not one of those, famous people. It's messy, like fucking Will Smith. Well, I shouldn't say Will Smith. I should say Jada Pinkett Smith. But, he's not messy in that sense where his private business was all over. Exactly, Freudian slippers. She love bombed him. It's exactly what she did. Jodi Arias did do that, Carla. She absolutely did do that. She mirrored everything, wanted to become, same religion as Travis Alexander. And that's what these freaks do. It's exactly what they do. She researched the hell out of him, I'm sure. Took advantage of him, his kindness, had all her friends living, her family, everybody was living in his penthouses rent free. I mean, I couldn't believe how many people they questioned today that lived in his home, and he didn't even know some of the people. She just had all these people. She had a thing with Elon Musk before Depp. Seems she has a type. Yes. Ugh, I don't find Elon Musk attractive whatsoever. Her type is probably rich and famous. That's her type. And not to be an asshole, I don't see anything. I'm not saying she's not pretty. I mean, she's a pretty lady, but like, I don't see anything about her that's so, above unique or anything like that. She's kind of average looking to me. Yeah, she's definitely a gold digger. And then who was the other person? James Franco that she had a thing with. She has a baby. I didn't know she had children. No, he does seem like a very kind and generous person. I mean, really, think about it. This Isaac character, literally like was just a friend that he had known for a long time, and he seen that he had this, interest in painting, and he put him up in his house. And I mean, he talked a little bit more about it today, that the mother had passed away and he had no money, so he kind of took him under his wing, put him up in his penthouse, financed him, to do these paintings and these art shows and everything like that. Like, that's it's awfully kind of him. He would bring people on vacations. I mean, just seemed like a very, very generous, helpful person. I get Elon. Who is Elon Musk? Is he dating somebody? Is she dating him now or no? My oldest son is her age. I would not know who the hell Hunter Thompson is. Yeah, right. How old is she? Well, he became very good friends with Hunter S. Thompson after doing Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Ooh. My brother was big into Hunter S. Thompson. I mean, huge into him. He even used to walk around with those fucking shirts like he was dressing like him. Ugh. 35. Wow, yeah, she's young. She's young. That's a big age gap. Big age gap. Imagine like being this older man, however old he is, in his 50s or whatever, his late 50s, and then having your life controlled by this way younger woman. Sick. But she did all the classic things of what a abuser does. I mean, Hunter S. Thompson is I guess an author. He wrote books. He wrote Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He wrote, I don't know, some other fucking books. My brother was big time into him. I mean, that movie has a huge cult following. That movie, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I'm not really sure. I don't know much about Hunter S. Thompson. I just know that my brother used to read his books, and he had the little sticker of this hand gonzo thing. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't even know what it is. She's almost 2 years older than I am. She's very average, especially for an actress. Yeah, there's nothing that like stands out to her. Like, she's not, I mean, she's a pretty woman, but she's not like, I don't know. I don't see anything that stands out about her. She's very bland looking. I wouldn't want to date a guy that much older. It's too much of an age gap. I was 5'6" when River died. River Phoenix. If a rich man married me, he would be happy if they wanted a real woman. Well, I think a lot of actors date other actresses because it's a very different type of lifestyle. And I feel like they date other actors and, well, other actresses because, they need somebody that understands the lifestyle, the traveling, you know, they have they have very different type of lifestyle than normal people. He would be happy. Money isn't, doesn't buy happiness, but it buys you things that can make you happy. I'd love to travel too, dolls. I traveled probably more when I was a kid than as an adult. I never had really the money. Oh man, let me tell you, my Easter was fucking so sad. Well, we stayed home. My son was sick. And at about, what time was it? 3 o'clock or something, I checked my phone and my best friend had texted me that her dad passed away that day. I mean, it literally happened just hours before I checked my phone. I don't know why. I just didn't look at my phone that morning, really. And then, or I might have looked at it in the morning when I woke up, and then I didn't really look at it until later on in the day. And it was around like 3 o'clock. And I'm like, dude, that just hit me like, a ton of bricks because it's my best friend and I've known her dad my whole life since I was a kid. And I'm just so sad, to know that he passed away. I would never think her parents would have. I don't know. I just like never would have thought her parents were healthy people. Her mom died the year after my mom. And then actually, what's today's date? Hold on a second. I think today is actually the anniversary of my dad's passing, which is really weird. Today the 19th? Yeah. 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 Today's the anniversary of my dad passing. So it's surreal that her dad passed 2 days before, and Easter was the last holiday I spent with my dad. And Easter's always a kind of, rough holiday for me. But I was just like, holy shit, man. Yeah. I known her dad. Her dad was such a nice guy, he really was. He was quirky. He was definitely a character. I'll never forget. I might have talked about him on here before that he was a germaphobe, and he had OCD, and he was actually a bit of a hoarder too, but not like the hoarders you see on TV. He just hoarded certain items. But a few years ago, I remember we had a really bad heat wave. And I swear to God, he had a broken heart, this man. It's just so sad. So her mom passed away, I believe in 2017 or 18. Forget exactly what year it was. And I remember, her dad was having a really, really hard time with the mom's passing. And in 2000, I think it was in 2018, we had this really bad heat wave one summer, and it was so weird. I was sitting there telling, yes, the newspaper dad, Angela, that's him. That's him. Yes, the one who collected the newspapers. And anyway, we were having this really bad heat wave, and for some reason, I thought of him because they had no air conditioning in the house. They never had an air conditioner. It was like they never had a dryer. They almost lived like they were Amish. It was weird. I mean, but they had electricity and TVs and shit, but like no dryer. They had a washing machine, but they never had a dryer. They never had air conditioning in the house. And like, dude, it gets fucking hot here in the summer. You're talking like it gets in like the 90s and it's very humid here. And I'll just never forget. We had this really bad heat wave, that one week, and I was thinking of him for some reason, and I'm like, oh, I hope he's all right, because I know he's in the house with no air conditioning. I guess I was just thinking of like how hard it would be to live in the house without air conditioning, and I always think of him when it's hot. And sure enough, a couple of days later, I got a call from her that he was home. I don't know, maybe he was hot or something. He took a shower, and one of her brother's friends, the neighbor that they grew up together, he lived a couple of houses down. He was back in the area visiting his parents, and he looked over at her dad's house, and he seen that the newspapers were like piling up, and he's like, that's weird, like outside. So he goes and picks up the newspapers, and he goes to check on them, and sure enough, her dad's laying on the kitchen floor naked, like passed out. So, and I think he was there for like a day, and nobody even knew he was there. He couldn't get up. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he had like a stroke or something happened, some kind of medical issue happened. He fell, and he literally couldn't get back up. And so thank God that guy went there that day. So they took him to the hospital. And then from there, I don't know if I forget if he had like a stroke or something like that. They had to send him to a rehab place, and then he's just never gotten out of it. Whatever happened that day, he just never got better. So he's been, he's been in this home for years now. It's just so sad. It's like the mom passed away, and then like something happened, something happened to him, and he just never got better. And so, I've been asking her periodically how he's doing and everything, but just to hear that he passed away suddenly the other day was sad. I don't even exactly know what happened, but it was just sad to hear. I'm like, holy shit, man. I text you when he's there. I don't know Life Rewinded. I probably didn't even see it because I was just so fucked up that day between his passing, and then my son was sick. He's better now. My son was really sick. He had a fever. He was a mess. He was like scaring me the other day. He was kind of like hallucinating. Well, he was having bad dreams. But then when he woke up, he was like still in the dream almost. It was weird. And he scared the shit out of me the other day. But he's fine today. No fever. He's good. I don't know what happened. These kids are getting sick like crazy now because they've been living with these fucking masks on in school for years. They probably have no immune system anymore. My son's been sick more than this year than he has his whole entire life. It's like insane. Even when they had the masks on, he was getting sick, which I was like, how is he getting sick if he's in a fucking mask all day? So, but he's definitely been sick a lot more this year than he has been. My best friend's dad passed away. Life Rewinded. Just sad. I've known him my whole life. So I hate to know that she's going through the same thing that I'm going through. That once you're second, obviously it's either one of your parents passing away is horrible, but like once your second parent passes away, you just start to like really like feel alone in the world, and it's like, holy shit, my family's gone. Like my whole foundation's gone. Sad. Tell one of the funny stories about him. Oh, he was a funny guy. He had the best voice. His voice, he had like an Elmer Fudd kind of voice. It'd be like, hello. I'd call up, I'd be like, hey, is Tommy there? I'd be like, oh, sorry, we Tommy's sweeping. That's how he used to talk. Tommy's sweeping. I'm like, she's sweeping? Really? My best friend, she used to sleep. She's like a giant baby. She used to sleep every day after school. Every fucking day. She used to have to go home and take a nap like a little baby. Like a baby. Even when me and her would go away on trips, like I'd be like all pumped, because I'm ADD and shit, and I need to be like constantly moving. And she's like, all right, we'll go here, and then we're take a nap, and then we'll go out later. Like she always has to take a fucking nap. She used to kill me because I was like, I'm not a napper. I never was. I don't like taking naps. I sleep at night, and that's it. And she like has to take a nap. Even to this day, she still fucking takes naps. Yeah, he was so funny. He used to collect newspapers. He was this short, bald guy. He was funny, man. He used to clean everything. He cleaned the whole house. Like every day my friend would come home from school. He'd take her whole entire backpack, every single thing in her backpack, he'd take it out and he'd wipe it down with a sponge that he would spray Lysol on everything. Like he was totally a germaphobe. I mean, he mopped the floor like 100 times a day. Her house was the cleanest house I've probably ever been in my life. You could literally smell when I would walk to her house, like in the summertime and all the windows and shit were open, like you could smell the pine sol, like Lysol, lemony, fresh, scent coming from her house all the way out in the street because he cleaned so much, so much. I've never seen somebody clean this much in my life. He was like always clean. He cleaned his money. He used to wipe the money down. Like he'd have like a stock of dollar bills and he would like wipe the money down, flip it over, wipe it down. And then like everything in the house had newspapers under it, like a newspaper. So he would like, which is so weird to me because newspapers are so dirty. But sometimes his OCD, like the whole germophobia thing, just didn't make sense to me. Like certain things that he would do like that. Because I'd be like, newspapers are filthy, dude. Like they're so gross. But he would put a newspaper under everything. Like how many people touch newspapers? Like, ugh. Oh yeah, he had COVID, Angela. That's what they think actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's what they actually think might have killed him because he had pneumonia, his kidneys shut down. He had COVID, but it was at the beginning of the month, she said. So I'm not even, 100% sure what happened to him. Oh yeah, he definitely had OCD. He had serious OCD, but it was endearing. It was what made him him. Like I was one of the only friends that was allowed in the house, and oddly enough, my husband too. I never slept over her house. He would never let us sleep over there. But I was one of the only friends that was allowed in the house. And it was funny because like I'd go over there and I'd take my jacket off and I'd put it like on the back of the chair. And then, me and my friend would go hang out in her room or something. And then I'd come out like an hour later to go home. And I'd be like, where the fuck is all my stuff? Like he would clean my stuff and put it in the in the garage. And I remember I always used to have to, you couldn't wear shoes in our house. So you always had to take your shoes off at the front door. And I would walk it like out. Oh, my shoes would be freezing. My jacket would be freezing because he'd put it out in the garage because like he didn't want like your shit in the house. Like he was that crazy. Like if I called my mom on their phone, he would clean the phone. Like he cleaned everything, dude, constantly. I just couldn't imagine spending my life cleaning so much. He spent like every second of his day was, cleaning. But he loves sports, so when he wasn't cleaning, he was usually watching some type of sport on TV. My dad's kidney is dying. Oh, I'm sorry, Ellie. He's in bad shape at 78. I'm sorry to hear that. I do the same thing. I spray my kids' backpacks with Lysol. No way. And then take everything out of it. Holy shit, girl. I just like, I don't know. That's so much energy. I couldn't imagine doing that every day. Taking my son's stuff out, cleaning everything. Like, I just couldn't imagine doing that. He doesn't have cancer like my late mom. Aw. I came home to my dogs, the backyard, and they had a nest of bird eggs. 2 dead birds. Oh no. Yeah, you gotta be careful this time of year. There's birds and nests everywhere. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, girl. That's terrible. So yeah, so it was a little bit of a rough day the other day. Just knowing that, she's going through the same thing I've been through. I hate that. I just like her parents were always so like I'm saying, they were clean, healthy people. And then, her mom had breast cancer, and then her dad, I don't even really know what was exactly wrong with him. I know he had dementia. She had mentioned Parkinson's maybe at one point in time. So he was yeah, he was in bad shape. Sorry to hear that, Ellie. Prayers for your family. Wasn't there a story he told about his friends in the lint? Yes. He used to collect the lint in his shirt and then brush it off in the garbage pail. Cause like we would literally talk about her dad all the time. It was like so funny. She would tell us all these fucking crazy stories about like his cleaning habits. And so he told one night we were like all sitting there and we're like, yo, what's the craziest story like about your dad? Because people didn't believe us. Like they literally didn't believe us. They didn't believe her like when she tell these stories, but we were always able to back it up because I've seen him do some of the crazy shit. Like her dad and the mom would not go in the pool. It was so weird. They had a little, one of those like round, like above ground pools, and they wouldn't go in the pool. Like they didn't wear bathing suits. They literally went in the pool fully clothed in jeans and shirts. And I was like, bullshit. Like she told me, and I was like, yeah, okay, Tom, sure. Like when we were kids, I was like, there's no way your parents would go in the pool fully clothed. Like that's how they swim. So like when they had to clean the pool, whatever they were doing in the pool, swimming, cleaning it, they went in with fucking full length jeans and shirt, t-shirt. And I don't know why to this day. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know. They never wore bathing suits. I don't know why. And then sure enough, one day we come home from school and we go out in the backyard and there's her parents in the pool making a fucking whirlpool, fully dressed in their jeans and shirts. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, it's so weird. So weird. We were like, what the fuck? Like she would tell us these things and we'd be like, yeah, okay. It was weird. She never realized like how like, weird it was until she like started, I guess, having friends when she got older and then seeing people's reactions to the shit that her dad used to do. Like they had a cat. I used to feel bad for it, honestly. They had a cat. It was a stray cat. She never had a pet her whole life, Her dad wouldn't let them have a pet. And so she had this cat. The stray cat showed up at the house one day and they started feeding it. And, it was the winter time and she was like all worried about it. So she begged the dad to let him in the house. And the dad was like, obviously, doesn't want like some outdoor cat in the house. So they bought like a crate. They kept the cat in a crate. And I was like, what are you fucking crazy? Like cats don't do anything. Well, I guess they could pee on your carpet and shit. But I'm like, this poor cat had to go in a cage. So they had like this little house out on the front porch that they made that had like all like, cushions and all sorts of shit in it. I used to feel so bad. So one time when the parents went away, she like let us all come over and we I'll never forget. She was like bugging out, she vacuumed the house because she didn't want the dad to know. Cause like he would literally know if something was out of place in the house. So she had to like vacuum the shit out of the house and clean it and mop and everything. So she's like going nuts. Like my phone my computer's like, shut up, Leanna just muted me. But yeah, she was like, they'll know. They'll know. Were they modest? No, I don't know, B-Frigs. I don't know if it was like a germ thing. I don't know. I don't know what the story was behind it. It wasn't like religious or anything. I don't know why the dad just had he had bad OCD and he was a germaphobe. Oh, that's definitely my husband calling. Yep. Probably wants to know what I want for dinner. All right, I'm probably gonna have to end this so I can answer the phone. Hold on, sorry. He's on his way home. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to end this because he's probably calling to see what I want for dinner. But anyway, so yeah, it's just sad that he's gone. All right, let me end this so I could see what they want because we're definitely no, nobody came in. That was me. My door's squeaking. Sorry, Claire. Sorry. Yes, I'm gonna go because they're on their way home. I want to see what we're doing for dinner and everything. But I'll be back. I'll be back. I have my son home this week, so if I'm not live, you know why. But I'll see you guys around the hood. All right, I'm out.